diversification of funding sources. It's almost like again, applying these concepts, these bigger concepts that people just know in business, like, or in personal investments, like having 7 streams of income, right? 7 streams of revenue. Like, it's the same for the nonprofits. Give us a practical application of how to identify like what those different sources of funding could be. Like, how could one diversify? How should a nonprofit leader be thinking about diversification in terms of funding streams?
That's a great question. I reflect back on some of the nonprofit leadership roles I've had in looking at our funding models. When I looked at their funding portfolio, they were very heavily reliant on grant funding. And so that sets up a little bit of a risk, when you're too dependent on one particular funder or type of funding source, just as you would be if you are very dependent on government grants. But it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time. My goal wasn't to reduce foundation funding and bring in more money on the individual side. My goal was to continue to build on that funding source while I was focusing even more energy on bringing in more individual donors. So I think, first off, I think it's really important to assess your funding model. And then ask yourself, what is our financial risk? What funding will be needed to sustain your work should you lose a funder? Does this uncertainty warrant adding a specific group of funders or an investment in a program like yours right now? Should you move up, or should you add a solicitation activity to what you're already doing?